Hi, Jody here with Jody's Healthy Bakes. And today we're traveling back thousands of years to India and using the healing tonic elixir of golden milk. And we are making a golden milk cake. The best part of this episode, I am introducing you to Shamane Simon. She is an epic baker here in Boulder, Colorado, while she shows us how she would make a cake. And then I'll come back and create a cake that we can eat. So let's get started. So hey, Shamane.
Hi, Jody.
What is up? What are we doing today?
Today we are making a golden milk coconut cake. The way that I wanted to create the cake was to have a nice coconut flavor in a cake. When I make a golden milk latte, which I do for myself pretty frequently in the morning, it is more of the fresh turmeric, the dry turmeric, coconut oil, honey, and spices.
So Shamane, will you tell me the ingredients we got going on today?
Yes, we have our pastry flour, which has our baking powder in it, our organic sugar, our farm fresh eggs, our dry turmeric, our butter, kosher salt, coconut oil, and our fresh turmeric. We'll be sifting our flour. This will lighten up your cake, make it nice and fluffy. Okay, so now that we have our dry, we will be creaming our coconut oil and our sugar together. Generally, your recipes always have you adding salt to your dry ingredients. We tend to use kosher salt or more of a coarse salt, sea salt. So I always put it into my creaming method so I can make sure that it gets incorporated. I crack eggs, and it's mostly for efficiency, but I use one egg as my cracker, and then the other egg is the cracky. So I snap, and we don't know which egg is going to crack. But we are going to be separating out our eggs, egg whites, and egg yolks. And we will be using all of them. And for our cake, we will take half of our coconut milk and steep it with the turmeric. So now our cakes are ready. We're going to pop our cakes out.
You refrigerate the cake before you did your frosting?
I did. It stabilizes the cake. It makes it nice and easy for slicing. First, we're going to trim our cake. I like to trim the top off so I get a nice flat cake layer. Always save your cake tops because you can make cake truffles with them. We are going to slice our layers so we can get 4 thin layers.
How long have you been in business?
For 20 years. We just celebrated our 20-year anniversary in April.
Congratulations.
Thank you. When I go into baking and looking at my formulas, I will generally try to figure out how to make that as healthy as possible. I have some things that accommodate for dietary restrictions, but then I also want to look at it as being wholesome. If I'm going to have a dessert, I do want to have organic eggs in my cake, and it is nice to be able to use organic sugar. We have a delicious dessert that's wholesome.
Shamane, tell me the difference between the different frostings. And today we're going to be using the French buttercream and Swiss buttercream.
So in our French buttercream, we have the egg yolks, our sugar syrup, which is butter, organic turmeric, coconut oil, which will bring out turmeric and help with some health benefits while you're eating it with your buttercream. We're going to do a mix of buttercreams, ombre style. Okay, so we will start with our 2 layers on the bottom. That's going to go in the middle. When you are spreading your buttercream, you want to push out towards the outer edge, just so you don't pull crumbs into the cake. I flatten the icing out. Started with my white so I don't get yellow in my white buttercream. And I laid my layers out on the table so that my cake doesn't slide around as I'm stacking the cake layers. So now we are going to stack our cake. Our golden milk on the bottom, and then we will layer with our white vanilla layer, and then another golden milk layer. And then we will top it off with our final layer.
So I noticed that you wrap the cake in saran wrap, plastic wrap. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, I always like to wrap the cakes. Once I fill them, it holds the shape of the cake, and then it also will keep the cake from drying out. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the top and start to work this around so it can go over your edges. We are just leveling off the cake now, so you're just bringing your spatula straight across the top of the cake. Now for our final decoration, you can use fruits or little flowers, or edible flowers are great. I always like insides of fruits with a little bit of color.
Today, we're taking those same flavors of cinnamon and turmeric and ginger, and we are putting it into a keto cake. So there's a couple steps to this process. The turmeric golden milk spice blend, we're gonna make the buttercream, and we're gonna make the cake. And then we're gonna put it all together in this beautiful, visually stunning, anti-inflammatory, delicious cake. So let's take a peek at all the ingredients. We've got almond flour, coconut flour, baking soda, salt. I'm using butter. You can actually use coconut oil, no problem, or a vegan butter, no problem. What's really important in baking, in French baking, is to keep all your ingredients, it's called mise en place. And it's where you have, it's basically keep it on the counter so it's ready when you're ready to bake. So to make the spice for the golden milk cake, I'm using a sifter, a very fine mesh sifter. So we've got our turmeric. So I'm just giving that a little mix through the sifter. Then the ginger, sifting that through, just break up the clumps. You know, spices don't last forever. I know when I heard that, I was kind of surprised because I didn't realize that. So really, spices aren't supposed to last for more than a year. And cinnamon. Use a little whisk to mix that all together. All right, we're gonna cream our butter and our allulose together till it's nice and fluffy. Now we're gonna add 1 egg at a time, just to make sure you don't get any shells. I like to make things easier, and I'm always looking for ways to do that. And Shamane is gonna show you how to cut a cake, an 8-inch cake, and cut it in half, which is a great technique to know. But I actually found these silicone 6-inch baking dishes that create lovely thin layers, simple, and then it's easy to stack and create a delicious layered cake. So I will put the link in the description so that you know where to find these. So let's start decorating. There are so many health benefits to golden milk, and adding it to our keto-friendly cake can only mean one thing: health and deliciousness. Milk can reduce inflammation, so it's an anti-inflammatory, prevent cell damage, it can improve your mood. Well, I think the golden milk cake can improve your mood because it's cake and it's delicious. So of course it can improve your mood. And that's what we're all about here on Jody's Healthy Bakes. Dessert with benefits. Now let's make the best part, the frosting. I have decided that I love Swiss buttercream, and I think it's so easy to make. I was super scared for years and I never wanted to try it. But once I tried it, it's so simple, and it to me is the best frosting. So before you make your Swiss meringue buttercream or meringue, you always want to make sure you wipe down your bowl with vinegar. It degreases it and it allows the eggs to whisk properly. And now it seems like was always the scary part of making Swiss meringue. It's actually so easy. 500 grams of allulose with egg whites. So the pan has just like about a half an inch of water in it. And you always want to scrape around and keep the edges of the bowl clean. I think this is one of the most essential kitchen tools to have. It's a digital thermometer. It comes in so handy on so many bakes. We're going to be using it to check the temperature of our egg and sugar mixture. So if you put your fingers in the mixture, the egg and sugar mixture, you can feel the granulation of the sugar. So we're trying to pasteurize the eggs and also melt the sugar. Basically, you know that it's done when you feel it between your fingers and the granulated crystals from the sugar are no longer there. This is the most critical part of making Swiss meringue, just to make sure you pasteurize the eggs properly. Now let's start decorating. So let's fill and crumb coat. Okay, we're at the home stretch. We're getting ready to do a final frosting coat, and then we're going to decorate. I'm going to do a little bit of a two-tone with gold on the bottom and white at the top, and it's going to create a little bit of an ombre, and then the top will decorate with some piping. Thanks so much for watching today. I just feel so proud that I'm able to offer up desserts for those of us on a healing journey, but most importantly, that they're delicious and decadent and full of flavor. And anyone will be happy to eat them. So anything we make here on Jody's Healthy Bakes is really meant for everybody. It just happens to be perfect for those of us on a healing journey. Starting a community for people like me and you, and no fail baking. Jump down into the description, sign up for my email list. You can be the first to know what I'm doing on Jody's Healthy Bakes for you and your health journey. Thanks so much.